There, it says recording.
Great. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So, hey, welcome everybody. I really want to thank you for being here today. Thank you for participating in this special memorial service for someone who was special to all of us, Sheryl Louise Mooney. And so we're gathering together today to remember her. And, you know, at this point, we're meeting remotely. This is my first remote memorial service, and probably for you too, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, but we're here today, obviously, to remember an extraordinary person and someone who had a unique and singular life. She touched many lives, and she had a significant impact on her world. And I know that I'm a better person because I knew Sheryl. So by way of introductions, my name is Richard Sochel, and I'll be hosting the memorial service today. I'm also the executive director of California Self-Directed Services, which was the agency that provided support to Sheryl these last 11 years. And so under normal circumstances, we would meet together face to face, but these are not normal circumstances. And we've been forced, you know, to live our lives more separate and far apart from one another. But this is an example of how technology can bring us together. So please be patient. There's a few things that I need to do. So as in addition to being your host, I'm the officiant and I'm the technical advisor, I'm the technical director, and I'm your moderator. So I've got a lot of stuff to do. And I already feel tired, and we just got started. But don't worry, there will be some things for you guys to do as well. We're going to have a time of sharing later on in our service. And so be thinking about what you might like to share, a memory, something funny, something that was just memorable for you with your relationship to Sheryl. So as I mentioned, this is being recorded. And that's because there are some people that would like to be here today that couldn't, and also for the family. And that way, by having this recorded, you'll be able to see it whenever you want from wherever you are. And so that'll be a nice addition to the service today. For my part, as I said, I'll be doing a few things, so please be patient. In transitions, there might be a few bumps and hiccups and issues like that come up. So just be patient, and hopefully we'll have a good experience and be able to get through this fairly smoothly. So to begin, if you look to your screens, I've got, there it is. I've got a Gaelic blessing. And so I would like for us to actually read this together. So I'm going to ask Kathy to just go ahead and to mute all of the microphones, because it will actually be a better experience for us if we don't have everybody talking in their mics at the same time. There might be some lag and it might sound strange. So I'm going to have her go ahead and do that. In 1895, from a novel that was called The Dominion of Dreams Under the Dark Star by a Celtic writer named Fiona MacLeod. And so as we read these words together, say these words of blessing to Sheryl and to her family, and also to one another. So let's read together a Gaelic blessing. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the gentle night to you. Moon and stars pour their healing light on you. Deep peace of Christ, the light of the world. Deep peace of Christ to you. Amen. So now I have a short eulogy that I would like to share with us. And I've just simply entitled it, Remembering Sheryl. You know, as I said, Sheryl was a unique and singular individual. There was no one like her, and there will never be anyone like her again. And because of that, I am both sad and thankful today. I'm sad because I won't see her again. I'm sad because I won't have the opportunity to hug her again, or to hear her laugh or see her smile. I'm sad because I won't hear those words, "You're handsome," or "I love you," in that unmistakable Sheryl Mooney way. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I knew her. I'm thankful that I'm a better person because of her. I'm thankful that I was enlarged and expanded through Sheryl Mooney. And I'm thankful that all of us here are better and bigger because we knew Sheryl Mooney. Bigger in kindness, bigger in compassion, bigger in patience, bigger in empathy, bigger in our humanity. And there is an irony in that because, you know, Sheryl was someone who had a lot of needs. She had limits, and she needed a lot of people around her to make sure that she was safe and that she was healthy. And yet, because of those limitations, there was expansion and elevation. She expanded our soul, and she elevated our consciousness. And I'm grateful to her for that. I first met Sheryl in 2003. And at that first meeting, of course, I had no idea that I would have a relationship with her for the next 17 years. Some of you here today may have known her even longer than that. But I remember very clearly in that first meeting, I met her at her home. She was living in Ojai at that time. And the name of the home that she lived was the same name as the street that it was located on. It was called La Luna, which means the moon. And I thought, Miss Mooney living on Moon Street. It just had a kind of a charming ring to it. And at that time, I was newly assigned to be her service coordinator. And so that meant that I would meet with her periodically and make sure that she was safe, make sure that she was healthy, make sure that she was satisfied with her supports and services. And so in that first meeting, I met her, and I found a person who was really enthusiastic about what she liked. She was able to articulate very well what she appreciated and what she enjoyed. And equally, she was able to tell me what she didn't like and what was bothering her. And so I realized at the very, very beginning that Sheryl was someone who knew what she liked and knew what she didn't like, and she didn't have any trouble telling me about that. Now, one of the things that Sheryl loved was animals, especially dogs and cats. And her mother told me that as a child, she actually spent time growing up on a farm, both in the state of Kansas and the state of Missouri. And on the farm, there were lots of animals like pigs and cows and dogs and cats. And so that love of animals, it stayed with her throughout her whole 57 years of life. And you will all remember she had quite a collection of stuffed animals too. Now, Sheryl was born on February 22nd, 1963 in Ventura, California, to Nancy and Ernest Mooney. And Sheryl was the youngest of 6 children. She lost her father at the tender age of only 5. He died unexpectedly. And Nancy went on to remarry. And with her second husband, Sheryl gained a new father and 3 more siblings. So in total, she had 8 siblings, and she left behind 32 nieces and nephews, as well as 28 great nieces and nephews. Her mother also told me that she was the 6th generation in her family to be born in the city of Ventura. So her family has a very long and rich history in this area. It goes back farther than most. Now, over the last 11 years, CSDS has been involved in Sheryl's life and has been an important part of Sheryl's life because we have been the agency that have supported her 24/7, 365 since then, over the last 11 years. And during that time, Sheryl also attended day programs. She attended the Ojai Enrichment Center for many years. She also, more recently, went to the Ventura County Adult Day Health Center once her needs started to change. And then most recently, Cole Vocational Services in Ventura. So many of you, well, in fact, all of you here were part of her support team. And so, I want to just say thank you from my heart because you are the reason that Sheryl had a good life, that she had a full and active life. You are the great heroes of Sheryl's life. And you spent countless hours with her through thick and thin, good days and bad days, through smooth sailing and through crises and everything in between. And because of you, Sheryl was able to do everything that she wanted to do. She was able to go to places that she liked to go. She was able to attend parties and events and go to the beach and go to the park and enjoy life, enjoy all of the good things that life has to offer in the local community. And so you are the reason she lived her best life. So from my heart, I want to thank you for that. She was the reason that we are all better people, and she touched so many lives. And speaking of all the fun things and wonderful experiences she had, I have put together a short video about three minutes. And so I'd like to put that up on the screen so that you can remember Sheryl Mooney. So hang on for just a second while I get that going, and then we'll come back for a time of sharing all together. Okay? Well, I hope you enjoyed that. A lot of memories, a lot of years, a lot of wonderful experiences. So guess what? So now it's your turn to do something. So I'm going to ask Kathy to unmute everybody, and we're going to go into a time of sharing. And so I just would love it if you would share with us maybe an experience or a memory, something memorable that you'd like to let us know about. So this is your time. So go ahead.
Oh, I'll go,
Okay,
Richard.
great. Thank you, Lisa.
There's a couple things that really stand out with me for Sheryl. And when you were talking about her family, I remember when I worked up at Loma, I used to call her mom, she and I, almost every Saturday. And I remember, you know, how special it was for everyone involved. Just, you know, letting her be able to talk to her mom and getting to know more about Sheryl and her family and her upbringing. And I'm just really glad that I can look back and know that I had the chance to do that with her. It's really special. And also, I was very blessed to have been able to, I believe I was the last one who was able to go see Sheryl in the convalescent home and say goodbye to her. And I feel very blessed and fortunate that you got contacted me and Sally, and I was able to go over there and do that. And I just hope and you know, pray that she knew I was there, even though she couldn't respond. Um, I just want to, you know, keep the fact that I was able to more or less say goodbye to her. You know, and right after that, she passed away. So that's a really special memory I have for sure. So those two were what I moments or memories were what I wanted to share today.
Oh, great. Thank you for that.
I just remember her always being a very happy person. I know she had difficult days as well, but you know, I got to see her at the events. So she was always really excited about the events and had a lot of joy. And would just, like in those pictures, she was like smiling and very interested in what was happening. So I felt like she really drank of life well.
May I speak? It's Maureen.
Hi, Maureen.
Yes, please do.
There's no picture of me, but just my voice. But what a beautiful service, Richard. What amazing words. As you were speaking, nodding my head and agreeing with you on all of those beautiful things you said about Sheryl. In my mind, she taught what a pure heart was. She just had a pure heart. And the things that bring a smile to my face is Sheryl always noticed my hair, and we'd always kind of like flaunt on each other, like, "Oh, look at your hair!" And she was just a beautiful spirit and so pure. And I've known her for over 9 years. And in the beginning, we had some Barbies and a little Barbie with an elevator house. So Quinlan wanted to share that with her. So that was beautiful to see her shine and get excited about Barbies. And I loved her hugs. Her hugs were pure. And I love her kisses. And I love, of course, Richard already said this, I love you.
Yeah.
I can't imitate the voice, but her face shines in my eyes right now. Some of the memories that I will hold on to are those, but also our events that you mentioned, Kathy. I loved how Loma Loma would open up their home and have the Halloween party. And I got to dance with her several times, looking at each other eye to eye and just living life large. And I am amazed at her life, and she was such a trooper. And I loved it when she got healthier, lost a lot of weight.
Mhm.
I was thinking, now, why can't I lose a pound? And that's because we had amazing life coaches, Sally being committed and dedicated to the top standard of health and wellness for everybody. I just had a place in my heart for our Loma friend, and Sheryl even corrected me one time because I wrote her name with a C.
Mm-hmm.
My name is S. Maureen.
Yeah.
I love you too. I just love you. And I'm so thankful that she has been a part of my life 9.5 years, and she's expanded me to understand about pure love. And I know she's with God in heaven, and she's with Rob. And I'm so thankful and grateful for that. I'm sorry I wasn't there at the end, but I felt like, hey, you know what? I got a beautiful, beautiful memory of Miss Sheryl with an S, and I have her voice in my head. I know Richard can do it good. The love yous, and working in the office, I got to have a lot of one-on-one time with her. So I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful that I could have a little bit of her in my life, and I'm just a better person for it. So thank you so much for listening.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, thank you for sharing, and I'm so thrilled that you could be with us for this today. It's wonderful. So, Maricela, anything you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, excuse me. I'm so happy to prepare this special event for Sheryl because I think she deserves it. So she was an amazing person. So her and I, we become like a really good friends. So I since her like my big sister. I don't have a big sisters, but she become like my big sister. Like we are planning things to do. So we are enjoying everything that we do. So she was like a really, really special person for me. The only thing I want to say, I always going to remember her, and she always is going to live on my heart. And I love her so, even though she's not here anymore, but she always, always is going to be on my life. Thank you.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much. That was great. What a great tribute from everybody. Wow. So I'm going to ask Kathy to go ahead and mute everyone again, because I just have some final words that I would like to say, and then we'll end our time together. There was no music, so there was actually some recorded music that goes along with it, and that was just a technical issue. So the reason I mention that now is I'm actually going to, well, in fact, I've already done this. I've already uploaded that video to my YouTube channel. And so at 3 p.m. today and later on, you'll be able to see it. So anytime you would like to just see that little 3-minute video slide presentation, it'll be there for you to check out, okay? So just go, use your device, go to YouTube, type in my name, Richard Sochel, Sochel, and you should go right to my channel and find it. If you don't, let me know and I'll tweak whatever I have to tweak, but it should be there after 3 p.m. today. All right, so a few final words that I'll offer and just some final thoughts as well. And I will offer this as our benediction for our service today. So sadly, on May 12th, 2020, Sheryl passed away. She passed away in the care of her hospice and nursing home staff. And it was such a jolt and a shock because only a few weeks before, Sheryl was living happily in her own condo in Ventura with her longtime housemate, Rachel. And what started as a small fever turned out to be her final challenge in life. And we were all shocked when we heard the news from the doctors that Sheryl probably would not be coming home. And what made that news even harder was the fact that we couldn't visit her because the pandemic was what it was. There was no opportunity for the people that loved her and cared for her to be able and to be with her or spend time with her. And so that was hard, and it seemed unfair. But we do have the consolation of knowing that she was in no pain when she passed away. And two of you here, both Lisa and Marcella, both of you were able to see her in those final moments and say goodbye for the rest of us, because we just simply ran out of time. We could only have one person visit her per day, and there were just more people than days left. And so I just want to thank you all who were able to see her at the end to say goodbye for the rest of us. So I just want to say to Sheryl, we loved you. We miss you. Thank you for being yourself. Thank you for giving us the gift of yourself. Thank you for living authentically. You know, that was such an inspiration. I want to live authentically and be who I am. And I want to thank Sheryl for modeling that for me. That is a precious gift that I will never forget. And so finally, as I close and we think about Sheryl Louise Mooney, someone who we dearly miss, I'd like to read the lyrics from a song by Les Paul from 1953, a song called How High the Moon. It was originally recorded and performed by Les and his wife, Mary Ford. And it's a song for our Mooney, or as her good friend Robert would call her, Moon Moon. The name of the song is How High the Moon. So How High the Moon by Les Paul. Somewhere there's music, how faint the tune. Somewhere there's heaven, how high the moon. There's no moon above when love is far away too, until it comes true that you love me as I love you. Somewhere there's music, how near, how far. Somewhere there's heaven, it's where you are. The darkest night would shine if you would come to me soon. Until you will, how still my heart, how high the moon. So with that, I'm going to end our time together today. Again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of Sheryl's amazing life. Feel free to stick around for a few minutes and interact and talk with one another. I'm going to ask Kathy to go ahead and unmute everybody and just enjoy each other's company. And so in closing, I just want to say be well, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Richard.